Hi guys, this is Des from the Music Marketing Academy. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. If you're looking to dominate the Twitter algorithm and get massive engagement online, then this video is definitely for you. Now guys, I'm not gonna lie, I get lots of people coming into my inbox complaining that they're not getting a lot of engagement on Twitter. These are musicians that are actually currently struggling at the moment. You know, they send me a message telling me that they're struggling, and that's why I'm gonna show you right now how I started from zero and got massive Twitter engagement online. I beat the Twitter algorithm. And if you're interested, I'm willing to show you the exact same thing. But first, hey guys, if you're a musician and you want to learn more about marketing both you and your music, use the link in the description to join over 300 other musicians. There's lots of other cool tips, tricks, and access to a lot of really useful tools. Looking to make money with your music? Then the Music Marketing Academy is just for you. Let's get back to it. So in this video, I'm going to show you 10 tips to increase your engagement and allow you to also beat the algorithm. Now the first thing you need to do, you need to tweet daily, because what you're doing is you're telling the Twitter algorithm that you're an account that tweets all the time and you should pay notice. This allows you to get more Twitter followers, and it also allows you to get more exposure for you, your band, or your brand. And this is where most people go wrong. It allows you to build data, build like a nice database of data that allows you to see what tweets worked and what tweets didn't. You see, those tweets that you tweeted out before will give you the data to show you what you can tweet going forward. And by tweeting every single day, it allows you to get more practice, and it allows you to tweet every day to your followers so they get to know you and you get to know them. You're going to find it's going to be a lot harder for you to tweet on a daily basis if you don't keep it up. And also, by tweeting daily, it's good practice. It allows you to practice the art of having conversation on Twitter. That's one of the most important things on Twitter, is having conversation. So tweet daily. So the next thing we're going to talk about is tweeting at the right time. A lot of you jump onto Twitter and you just don't realize that there are specific times when you should be tweeting. Now you've got a choice. You can either look back at your account to see when were the best times that you could actually have tweeted, all right, and see when you got the most exposure, or you can use software like Buffer or Hootsuite, but you have to use their paid plans in order to find out when the best times were for your tweets. You see, when you tweet at the wrong time, you get zero exposure, but if you tweet at the right time, you get massive exposure. It really is that simple. The next thing we're going to talk about is keeping an eye on hashtags, and more specifically music hashtags. If there's anything that's music related, I recommend that you tweet about it. By doing that, it shows up in your followers feed that you're actually talking about it. That means you get more exposure. You beat the algorithm that way. So what Twitter wants, it wants you to have a lot more dialogue, and it wants you to have a lot more conversation with your followers. By having more conversation with your followers, it means that they'll stay on the platform a lot longer. And if they stay on the platform a lot longer, it means they can show them more advertising. So it makes really good sense to actually do this on a regular basis. So the next time you go on the Twitter app, have a look to see what's trending and then tweet about it. It doesn't even necessarily need to be about music, but as long as it's something that captures your followers' imagination, they will follow you, they will like it, they will retweet it, and they will jump in and have a conversation with you. So the next thing we're going to talk about is using all the media available to you. So we're talking about images, we're talking about GIFs, and we're talking about video. Now you don't need to use it on all of your tweets, just some of them. Now guys, do you have any favorites? Are there any favorite images or GIFs or videos that you like to use? Let me know in the comments below which is your favorite media that you want to use on Twitter. So the next thing we're going to talk about is encouraging your Twitter followers to engage with you. Now when I say encourage them to engage, I mean asking questions at the very end of one of your tweets. So when you tweet something next, ask an open question. And what you'll find over time is this will encourage engagement. And guys, look, it's really important that you do this, and also important to actually jump into somebody else's tweet and ask a question as well, because again, that encourages a lot more engagement, a lot more signals go to Twitter that you guys are talking, which means the next time you tweet, your tweet or your Twitter account is going to show up a lot higher up in their feed. The next thing we're going to talk about is Twitter polls. Twitter polls get a ton of engagement. Look guys, they don't necessarily get a lot of likes and retweets, but if you do the Twitter polls correctly, what can happen is a lot of people will vote, and it gives Twitter an indication that these guys are actually engaging on one of your tweets. Now, not only are these really fun to do, but Twitter loves that you do this, because what you're doing then is encouraging people to stay on the platform longer. If you encourage people to stay on the platform longer, it means Twitter can show those people more advertising. That's what you're doing on your Twitter account. You're making it useful to you, but you also need to play the Twitter algorithm game. You need to encourage encourage people to stay on your tweets longer, have more engagement, and you need to encourage them to stay on the platform longer as well. That's how you beat the Twitter algorithm. The next thing we need to talk about is repurposing your tweets. And by repurposing, what I mean is using your tweet that did well previously and using it again in the future. And by that, you can use either software tools like Buffer or Hootsuite, but my recommendation, my personal recommendation, would probably be using TweetDeck. TweetDeck is Twitter's own scheduling platform, and I recommend that you use that. And it's really intuitive and it's really easy to use. Now, if you tweet tweets that have done well previously, all you need to do is click into them, see how much engagement it got, see the day that you're actually posting it and the time, and that will let you know when to actually use it again in the future. And I recommend maybe 3 or 4 weeks later using the exact same tweet or a variation of the actual tweet itself. And this follows on nicely to promoting your music. A lot of musicians forget to promote their music on Twitter, so I encourage you to promote your music using the scheduling tools. And again, I would recommend using TweetDeck. So what you want to do is you want to use the data from your previous tweets to find out when it's the best time to tweet, and then use those times for your promotional tweets. Obviously, that's the best time to use Twitter. And it's also a good time to actually mention, I did a video, if you're a musician and you use Spotify, I'm going to leave a link up above. I taught you how to use the new Spotify promo cards feature. Click the link above and it will show you how to do that, and it will also show you how to schedule those as well ahead of time. The next thing we're going to talk about is pinned tweets. Pinned tweets get the most traffic, and you want to be using these as often as possible. I recommend rotating them once a week or once a month, and when I say rotating, I mean changing it out, swapping it out for another tweet. And what I don't see enough is people retweeting that tweet on a regular basis, and it's best to actually retweet it at the busiest times. If you retweet it at the busiest times, you'll get the most exposure, but don't forget, every time you retweet it, Twitter will show it to less and less people. Hence the reason why I said it's a really good idea to refresh that as often as possible. Also, I don't recommend putting an actual link in that tweet. Just keep it as a normal tweet, either a video, image or a GIF, but don't have any links within that. Always try and drive traffic up to the bio where you have all your links. And if you have a look at my account, you can see that I've got a couple of links in there, and I'll always drive eyeballs to the links in my bio. I very rarely put a link within the tweet, and that's what I recommend you do on your pinned tweet. So you're basically having what we call in the marketing terms a call to action, and that's actually asking somebody to do something. So it's either have a look at my new video or my latest video, or have a look at my latest track, or download my latest MP3 that's unpublished, I haven't shown it to anybody. Click the link in the bio and it will take you to a landing page to collect emails, or you can promote your Spotify, YouTube, it's completely up to you. If you found value in this so far, please leave a comment down below just to let me know that you like this video. Also, please consider subscribing and hitting the bell notification so you don't miss anything. Lastly, number 10, we're going to talk about Twitter lists. I recommend using these as often as you can. You can set these up, they're really easy to set up. You have either 5 or 10 of these, and you basically group different sets of people, so people that either liked your content, either retweeted. You can have a list of people that you regularly talk to. These are your secret weapon. These are things that allow you to talk to the same group of people in what we call a network effect, where as long as you're talking to the same group of people day in, day out, you will show up more in their feed. Also, you can actually target people that either like, retweet or comment on your content. These guys might be future fans, so it's really good to engage with them on a regular basis. So guys, those are the 10 ways to dominate the Twitter algorithm and to get massive engagement. I really hope you've enjoyed this. I'm going to leave some videos on this screen now of other videos that you might find helpful. And again, if you haven't done so already, please subscribe and hit the bell notification so you don't miss anything. But guys, thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.